Again. Hello, my name is Jason Loughary.
And I'm Mark Toti.
And this is the Parkland Podcast.
It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. They got plenty to say. They got plenty of heart. On the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast. It's the Parkland Podcast. Yeah, the Parkland Podcast with Jason and Mark. Jason and Mark.
Hey, think you could zoom them in?
Yeah, Jared knows how to do that. Dan Shunks was more than willing to hop in and zoom in our camera, but wouldn't you know it, a former Unitech digital media student just happened to be, that looks perfect, just happened to be in the room and got us all taken care of.
Wait till you get the bill.
Yeah, I know, right? Thanks for tuning in. It's election night coverage. The polls have officially closed. There might be some people still waiting in line, though. But officially, we are at 7 o'clock, and that means that it is time to start counting ballots. A guy that has been super busy since, probably 4 a.m. this morning? 4:30. Kevin Engler, the St. Francis County Clerk, joins us.
Am I in the picture? I'll show you.
Get a little closer to Toti. There you are. That way everybody knows what you look like.
All right, so we just closed the door, and at 7:01, everything's over, and the final people are voting, and we're done. We've had a big day. We had a big day here. We had a lot of people up at North County High School. There was a 2-minute line all day there. I think we voted over 2,000. I'll have the numbers here in a few minutes, but we voted 1,500 or so here today and let me encourage one other thing. November, to those I've talked to people.
Yes, you have.
Civic Center, go there. I had 20 people working there, and there wasn't enough people to have a mass murder. We need to have more people go there, okay, to vote. I don't know how else to say this. They're playing cards over there.
Right.
We've had ladies standing up since 6 o'clock this morning with a line here, and we're not a mile and a half away, so try to go to the Civic Center. There will be 20% more people voting in November, so you're going to wait in line. There you don't have to wait in line. The college, you hadn't had to wait in line today. Rocky and those, first, let's thank all the people that worked today. They did
absolutely.
a great job. It went off, I say right now, great. Let's get everything in. Let's get all the machines counted. Let's get the results first. And we really did a good job. The ladies here in the office, Jackie and Emily and everybody, Valencia, it's a crazy experience. There's a lot of moving parts, and they did a super job.
Did the constitutional amendments, specifically 4 and 5, really help to carry the load here?
Yeah, I think it really brought people out. People had to wait here maybe 10 minutes or whatever. In St. Louis, I saw they were waiting down the block and everything. We didn't have any. There was only, North County had maybe 4 or 5 people waiting for the next person in line, but we had 10 check-in stations. Really went well. A lot of people were saying, well, why aren't they voting in our places? Let me explain something to you, because I didn't talk about this when we were currently using them. But we had 9 locations that weren't ADA compliant, meaning we could be sued and lose any time on those locations. I'm not going back to those locations. We've got 4 great locations that are ADA compliant. They're big. The other 3 are big. They can vote up to 8,000 people. We've got qualified people at every one of the locations that know the technical aspects. We're staying that vote. It's working very well, but there's a reason. If I had to buy new machines this year, I have to have a blind voting machine. We want the blind to be able to vote. We've only traditionally had 1 blind voter in the county, and that's great. But I have to have 1 blind voting machine at every precinct. They're $3,800 a piece, and we're talking an extra $50,000 so that we can have Iron Mountain Lake vote 37 people. It makes no sense, and I don't care. They've called me an idiot today. They've called me a bunch of other stuff. I don't care. Nobody with any business sense would run the things in non-compliant situations and risk getting sued for a big amount of money, because everybody knew they were non-compliant. They're in basements. They're in, with gravel parking lots. They have and so we all knew that they were non-compliant. So if you sue us, then we've got a problem.
Right.
So What have you heard from people when they come in to vote? Because people talk to you. Are you getting
yell
a
at me.
sense, or yell at you? Are you getting a sense of how they're leaning on these amendments?
Yeah, I really believe that 1 and 2 will pass and 4 and 5 will fail. And I think 5 will fail by more than 60-40. And maybe I'm wrong. I mean, everybody says, oh, it's tight. I was quoted in the front page of the Post-Disgrace of saying it's not going to pass, and that was a couple months ago. And I still believe that today. I don't think hardly any Democrats are voting for it because of the uncertainty. Mm-hmm. You know, if the Republicans say, why aren't you for this? Well, when Nancy Pelosi said, you got to pass this bill to know what's in it, mm-hmm. That's the same, and we criticized her, it's the same thing. You got to pass this to know where we're going to come up with $9 billion. I'm sure we'll be fair. Now, this is the same group that in the last 6 years can't get together their act on gaming, on electronic gaming at these gas station stuff. They in 6 years they can't come up with a bill, but they're going to come up with how we kept $9 billion in a fair and equitable. And I'm sure the lobbyists for different industries wouldn't have had any input on it or whatever. I just don't think people are buying that. Even Republicans, I bet it doesn't win 60% of the Republicans.
So there's like 2 locally contested races for county positions.
Yeah.
You got to give them credit. All 4 got out and worked.
There's actually 3. We've got a state rep.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
State rep and the collector. The collector and the circuit clerk ran great campaigns. It was clean. They worked hard. I know both of them work in the circuit clerk's office, and they have nothing to be ashamed about. They didn't dump on each other.
Right.
And so I really applaud them. They did a great job. I think the other, Louie and I, it's going to be tight, but I learned over the years that there's only 2 ways to run, unopposed or scared. And since you're unopposed, you know, I had people criticize me today because I shouldn't be around here while I'm running. I'm the chief election official. If something goes wrong, it's my responsibility.
Right.
So I don't apologize for that. And I'm unopposed. If they want the job, run. I might even give it to them. You know, today after today, they can have it. You know, so we're excited about the turnout. It was bigger than we expected.
It's turned out higher than it was in
And most people
April.
are really into this. The fact that they print the ballot, that we had 126 versions of this ballot for this county. And so we would have had to spend thousands and thousands of bucks coming up with copies of all of them. This way, when you went in, it prints your ballot. And it can only print the ballot you're registered to. Mm-hmm. You can't have one of our poll workers that give you the wrong ballot, you know what I mean, but by mistake, because there is only one ballot that will print for you. So there's a lot of good things that happened, and the fact that you can go to any of those locations and vote no matter where you're at. The first few men that I saw at the North County location were all construction workers, and they were all from the southern part of the county, but they wanted to get to work, and they were 15 minutes farther north when they popped in there at 6 o'clock. I was sitting there, I said, I can't let you vote before 6 o'clock legally. And so they were sitting there. As soon as 6 o'clock, we had them registered, and they voted, and they were on the road to their work. So they're appreciated. And then the biggest voters at the Centene Center was the hospital. People from all over the county, but they could just run across the street and vote at the First State Bank Community Center building.
Yes.
Formerly the Centene Center. I keep, you know, people won't recognize it when I say that, and so I say formerly.
So considering how much attention is going to 4 and 5, is there even a slight chance that the turnout in August may supersede what's in November?
I don't think so, because you're going to have a big amendment. Amendment 3 is on abortion right now.
Okay.
Because the bill that passed last year, you've got unlimited abortions through the through the birth. You're going to have a lot of people talking about that, and they're going to be a lot of people. The pendulum has swung back this way, and so you're going to have a lot of people saying, should we bring it back? And there's going to be rallies on both sides, and so I think that's why I think strategically the governor put that one on the November ballot to get more people out during the November ballot, and he put this one on this ballot to have a smaller turnout for this.
So you have one of your staff workers that just came in?
Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Rhonda, it runs all the the totals and everything, and has for years since I was mayor. So I remember her running that when we put it all up on the big board. And then we got Commissioner Buckley over here, who's been down the weather with his knee replacement,
Yeah,
and he's
good to
here
see
tonight
him,
watching
yeah.
everything. It's good to see him. He's not really a pretty pitcher, but it is good to have him present.
But you wanted to thank your staff for all the hard work.
Yeah, I already thanked them, but yeah, all of our workers, our volunteers that work the polls, they did a great job. Sometimes people get irate, and I'm the only one that yells back. So they've learned that, and it's a good thing that they're there to. People like Rocky Good that headed up the one at the college. You know, the people there do a great job, and I'm not going to go through all three supervisors up there and all four supervisors. They just did a super job, and they really get the people. They think through it. Rocky was there yesterday planning for today. Wasn't being paid, but he was there planning to make the place work smoother. And that Mac Tech Center works great for that location. If you haven't popped in to vote there, you might want to consider that in November.
We have absentees here in a few minutes.
We will have absentees shortly because
Okay.
we cannot legally release them till 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And now they're back there tabulating and put them in the book, and we'll be bringing them down shortly.
Awesome.
So I know you got other things to do and probably sell some ads and
Got some sponsors to thank.
some
yes.
sponsors. We thank all of our sponsors for bringing this tonight, and it's good to have you here. We've got some radio people. We got the AP runner there, and she's here tonight. So we've got even the Daily Journal is represented tonight. So we've got the meeting of the minds in the press room tonight.
We do.
So thanks for everybody coming
Kevin,
in.
thanks for everything.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
An update later.
Yes.
All right. St. Francis County Clerk Kevin Engler joining us here on the Parkland Podcast. Time for a quick break. Our election night coverage brought to you by Mac Tech and by Kent Scism, your candidate for presiding commissioner of St. Francis County. We'll come back and give you more from Election Central here on this election night on Facebook and YouTube Live. In the St. Francis County presiding commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County, with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. And we'll welcome you back to Election Night Central on this election night. It is the August primary of St. Francis County, and we will break down the races that we're going to be following this evening as the polls have closed. Also, be sure to hit us up in the comments section. We got a lot of people watching on Facebook especially. Feel free to hit us up and make sure to like and share. And a new YouTube channel tonight, too. So if you're looking for our YouTube feed on the barn, just search Parkland Podcast, and you'll be able to find us there. Mark, Toti, you mentioned the amendments. What are those local races that people are going to be tuning in to find out about tonight?
Well, as far as the county-wide races that are contested, there's just really a couple of those. I'm going to count the state representative for District 116 on the Republican side, where it's Jason Green and David Todd. And then as you move down, you've got Circuit Clerk Christina Bone and Ginger Daffron that are running. And for County Collector, it's Angie Ussery and Mike Miller that are running. So those are the ones that you'll be worried about right there.
And then as far as statewide measures go on the Republican ballot, they also have a contested race with state auditor Scott Fitzpatrick, the incumbent, challenged by Jerry Weststrand, and U.S. Congress District 8, Jason Smith, the incumbent there, challenged by Gordon Heslop. Then on the Democratic side, basically you have two contested races there, one for state auditor with Quentin Wilson and Gregory Upchurch, and then one for U.S. Congress District 8 with Chris Reichard and Frank Barnett's. No matter if you picked a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian ballot, you got to decide the fate of the 4 amendments on the ballot today.
And I want to take a second here while we have a chance and thank all of the candidates that came by and spent their Saturdays with us on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We had an invite to every single one of them, especially those running on contested races, and almost to a person. We had a few that weren't able to make it, but for the most part, we had folks show up and give us their thoughts on the issues of the day, and we really do appreciate it.
And again, the 4 amendments that are on there, Amendment 1, that is to extend the 0.1% sales tax for soil and water conservation and for state parks. If approved today by voters statewide, that'll be extended for another 10 years. Amendment 2 kind of ties up some red tape with Jackson County, and it basically the state constitution has to be changed for Jackson County's constitution to be changed to elect an assessor. And basically this will amend the Constitution statewide specifically for Jackson County so that they can start electing assessors, and that's what Amendment 2 does. Amendment 4, now that's when we, again, Amendments 4 and 5, those are the hot button issues. Those are the ones that have had the most debate, most people have talked about. Amendment 4, if approved, modifies current requirements that a simple statewide majority of voters may approve initiative petitions to amend the Constitution, requiring a majority of voters in each congressional district to approve an initiative petition. And then Amendment 5, if approved by voters today, would phase out and eliminate the individual income tax base and revenue growth and require them to find that money elsewhere, basically, Mark.
Well, I think a lot of people on Amendment 4, if you live in outstate Missouri, were kind of tired of seeing 6 of the 8 congressional districts say yes or no to certain issues, and then have St. Louis and Kansas City and maybe Springfield just come in and override you, even though the majority of Missourians in outstate said we wanted a certain way. And as far as 5 goes, I think there's just the main thing I've heard from many people is there's too much gray area there about where they'll get the money to make up for the loss of that tax. And also, if you're a senior citizen, I can't see much incentive for you to vote yes for that.
So we'll find out in just a few moments how those votes went as far as the contested races in our area go. And we'll also look at some of those statewide races as well with those 4 amendments. And another race kind of close to home is for the 144th, which includes part of Washington and Reynolds County. And the race on the Republican side for that ticket, the incumbent Tony Harbison being challenged by Chris Dinkins, who has also been a state representative in the past as well. And those two have had a very, if we wanted to say the campaigns here in St. Francis County have been pretty much above the board, that one's been a little rough. There's been sign stealage. There's been accusations. There's been mud slung in both directions. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how that race turns out a little bit later on.
And those are 2 very well-known names in that area also. So it'll be interesting to see, like you say.
And that's a race that'll cross over into multiple counties tonight, as that 144th district covers more than just Washington and Reynolds County, also a portion of Iron County. And we have the same deal with the 116th tonight, basically the southern half of St. Francis County, the northern half of Madison County, and I believe there's some of St. Genevieve County in that district as well. Dan Shunks is shaking his head, the geography major in the room over there. So I think we're safe to say that that's right. But we're not going to know the result of that race between David Todd and Jason Green officially based on the votes we're going to hear. Now, obviously, this will be, I think, the most votes will come from St. Francis County, but that election could swing with votes coming in from other places.
Just got to let it play out. Oh, and here
wow, we got
go.
election treats. Oh, my gosh.
Well,
Wow.
look at this.
Yeah, I'll take a Rice Krispie treat. Thank you very much. Wow. Hey.
Hey, where do these come from?
Sweetheart Chocolate.
Oh, my God.
And Sweetheart Chocolates is located in downtown Farmington.
Yes, sir.
All right. And who is the owner?
Marcia and Keith Petty.
And they have a wonderful selection of sweets, don't they?
They sure do.
What is your favorite, Pat?
The triple malt balls,
So,
triple dip malt balls, and raisins.
so why get just a little chocolate? We can get a lot of chocolate, right?
Absolutely.
And they have a good selection of sugar-free candies, too?
They do. Yes. A really good selection of sugar-free candy. Am I on the radio?
Yes. No, you're on our podcast here, so say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Well, thank you very much, and I will grab one of these.
And now I'll turn my mic up and give Mark a chance to eat. Although, doing this podcast with Mark long enough, he is somehow able to chew, swallow, and I never hear a thing.
My mama raised me right.
Your mama did raise you right. So waiting on our first round of absentee results to come in. We should have those momentarily. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Allow us both to eat our treats from Sweetheart Chocolates, downtown Farmington. It is election night coverage here on Facebook and YouTube Live. In the St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County, with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. In the St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County, with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. Back on the Parkland podcast here at Election Central. We mentioned he was hanging out here in the cool area at Election Central tonight. We have Associate Commissioner joining us here on the podcast. And, boy, a lot going on. I guess, first off, how you feeling? I know we had to cancel a few county commission meetings, but...
I've been kind of down. I got a knee replacement, and Well, I was about 2 weeks into that. My good knee got staph in it.
Oh my gosh, Kerry.
And I've been in the hospital for about a month trying to clean up that staph. And tonight I got out. I can't stay very long but I kind of enjoy being back around people a little bit. But I just don't have a lot of energy. It don't last long.
Well, I know, Kerry, people are loving coming in and saying hi to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been very popular
Yeah,
here
you
tonight.
have been.
Well, I haven't been over there at the courthouse. I've been staying home. I've still been working, but I got a laptop. But, that job, a lot of people think that's an easy job. There's a lot of stuff going on. And, I'm going to say I don't enjoy it. I enjoy every bit what I do. I know a lot of people, and I just try to do the right thing. And, probably got more enemies now than I ever had, but that's from doing the job. So, I just hang in there and try to do the right stuff.
You were talking about parks right before we went on the air. You're spearheading some work at our area parks.
Well, I'm not your common politician. I'm not going to say I.
Okay.
There's a lot of we in that. There's a bunch of people involved in that park, and I'm not going to stand up here and say, that's my. No, we've had a lot of help there. They just got the second big trail done,
Now, which park are we talking about?
Owl Creek.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready this fall. They're going to build a boat dock and a fishing ramp. And then probably next year we'll come back with another trail over there, and that'll probably finish up that side. And then we'll start looking towards the future to maybe make that park a little bigger.
I
in
was
the
up
future.
there about a year ago. It's a pretty amazing park, and there are some pretty spectacular views as well.
Oh yeah, and right now I know I talk to a lot of people out there walking, and now since we've opened it up and eradicated a lot of cedars and eradicated a lot of like autumn olives and stuff that's not supposed to be there, and they a lot of wildlife. They're seeing wildlife constant, a lot of turkeys, deer. They're introducing like food plots for quail and all. It's
great.
pretty nice out there. They follow the rules. They're doing a pretty good job out there.
It's come a long way in 10 years, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. That's. I know a lot of people. You don't think a lot of people use it, but there's a lot of people out there in the mornings and the evenings walking it. So, and it's not that far to go for anywhere. People can go out there. So, yeah, I'm pretty tickled with that project.
What are some other big issues you all are tackling with the county commission now?
Well, one big issue would be like the road and bridge, and like I say, don't get me wrong, road and bridge, they've got very good guys out there. I understand that. We got 26 workers, and probably my side of it is the budget end of the county. We a lot of the workers out there, when we do work, we can't charge like a normal business where you can charge, and get paid for what they do. We got tax money, and over the years, their wages are up there, and I'm not going to say they don't deserve it, but we got a fine line there, paying out. You can't pay out more. Me coming up in the business world, you can't pay out more than what you're bringing in.
How many miles of roads and how many bridges roughly?
400 and no, I think they reduced that down. It's like 376 now, roads. But those guys, don't get me wrong, they do a good job. We got good guys out there. We've lost a few, and they were key people, and that's probably this kind of going on there. I hate it, but it's my biggest purpose really is trying to keep them all working, because it gets to a certain point and there ain't no money. You got to lay some off. So I don't want that.
And comes wintertime, one good snow, you realize just how much you need those folks.
Oh yeah, they're excellent. I have nothing against the workers out there. They got good workers. I'm just kind of maybe good job. They got good retirement, good trying to protect that for all of them.
Are you happy with the direction that St. Francis County is going, Kerry Buckley?
Yeah, I think we're doing good. I know, I was talking business-wise. I look at it in a business aspect. We got the new mall going in at Farmington. And, if you're in the business world, you kind of look at, if you're going to add on or go, where you're going to get the money. And we got a few years before that's really in top production out there. But, that'll be our next asset for taxes out there.
And you'll have a new presiding commissioner to
Yep.
work with come January, won't
Yep,
you?
one or the other. I mean, those two of them running. I mean, we'll just have to work together and do the best we can. That's, it's kind of one of them deals. Who's ever in there, don't matter. You got to do a good job.
Yeah, it's the people that matter.
Yep.
Absolutely. We appreciate your time, sir.
Well, thank you guys.
Take
I
care of them knees.
appreciate
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you need to keep sitting here for a while too, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, your wife has deserted you for a few
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, she left me.
She may be looking for some more of those treats from Sweetheart Chocolates.
Yeah. Well,
That's probably what it was.
thank you for
Absolutely.
having me on, guys.
No problem,
Thanks,
Carrie.
Carrie, very
Anytime.
Thank
much.
you.
Carrie Buckley joining us, Associate Commissioner for St. Francis County, joining us here from Election Night Central. Still waiting for statewide numbers, St. Francis County numbers to come in. Nothing in so far. As soon as those numbers matriculate, we'll be the first to tell you about it right here. It's Parkland podcast coverage of the August election on Facebook and YouTube Live. In the St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County, with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. All right.
I've been covering elections in this county since the 1980s, back when this young lady was probably still in grade school. I don't know, but we've got Rhonda joining us now, and it's not an election until she says it's an election. You've been bringing me election results for a whole lot of years, haven't you?
24.
24 years.
years.
What do you find exciting about election night? It's got to be kind of a real thrill.
It's a rush. I can't wait until they start coming in. Can't wait.
Do you have a
It's
favorite
exciting.
election that kind of stands out for you that you were a part of?
Back when they passed the marijuana and when Barack Obama was running for president, and it was non-stop, absentees non-stop. Our office couldn't even hold. We had to start working out at tables in the hall.
Wow. So were you ever a part of any of the elections? Because I can remember when the elections were back at the courthouse and everything was
I
kind of
never had to climb the ladder.
You never had to climb? Okay.
No.
Did you ever have to be a part of an election where the machine would break and they'd have to go to, like, say, Perry County and pick up another machine and bring it back so they could finish tabulating?
No.
Oh, you haven't lived till you've tried
No.
that.
No.
Sounds amazing.
Luckily, we've stepped up with the times.
Yes.
This is awesome that we can have 4 major polling places. It's hopefully
I bet it's
be
made your life a lot easier, hasn't it?
Absolutely. The phones, we did not have enough people to even answer the phone lines that rang because of all the address changes on election day. Now they can do them at the polling place. It's awesome.
Now, you're not the only one that's been here for a good number of years and done.
No.
Who are some of the more experienced girls you've worked with?
Linda is still working here. Linda Ballantyne. Teresa Summerfield's still here. Jackie still works in elections. We're all the old timers that have been here forever.
You still love? You gonna stay for a while, or
I have no desire to retire yet,
it's just fun to be a part of it, isn't it?
most of the time. Most of the time.
Rhonda, thank you so much. I know you're not exactly a fan of these
I am not
things,
a fan.
but we're a fan of you.
No, thank you.
right.
I'm a fan of you too. You guys have a good evening. I'm going to go back and see if I can get some results.
Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, man.
Rhonda has been bringing us election results for a long time. She is just a joy to work with, and she's very professional in what she does, and it makes my job it's going to make all of our jobs a lot easier.
Still no results statewide in the state of Missouri. Denny
Zero out of
Hoskins.
3,235 precincts reporting.
Zero out of the whole state thus far. Denny Hoskins, I believe this is his first election as the Missouri Secretary of State. So we'll be monitoring that page. I was looking to see maybe if Kevin was putting some stuff online on the Clerk's website too, but it doesn't look like he's done that yet either. So we'll continue to be just like the rest of you and wait for these election results to come in. Election night coverage, again, is brought to you by Mac Tech, one of the voting sites today. The Mac Tech building there and all the great programs they have. And by Kent Scism, he is a Republican candidate for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner. He had a contested race up until about 2 months ago. Originally was going to be running against Presiding Commissioner Harold Gallagher in the Republican primary. Harold withdrew his name from the election a couple of months ago, and so that set up a winner-take-all between the Republican and Democrat Kent Scism and Bill Young coming up in November.
Yes, I want to wish him the best, too. I know he's had a few health issues he's dealing with, so I want to wish him the best. I do want to say thank you to Sherry Klepsik. She has sent us a note saying thank you for the election coverage.
Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thanks
also,
for watching.
Thank you so much to the Sykes girls, Anna and Jennifer. They are watching election coverage tonight. They were texting me earlier, about an hour and a half ago, wanting to know what time we were going to start. And Jennifer, Anna, I wish we had more to give you right now, but as of right now, we are still waiting for the first of the returns, which will probably be the absentee ballots, and then I would suspect they're going to come in pretty fast and furious.
Yeah, I think so too. With again, just the 4 major precincts, and then of course Bismarck and Leadwood still open as well. Actually, they closed at 7 o'clock, but those 2 precincts are still open too for voters in St. Francis County. So all those election results will be coming in shortly, and of course we'll have those for you. Again, we're looking at a contested race on the Republican side between Jason Smith, the incumbent for District 8, and Gordon Heslop, who's challenging him. 116th District, Jason Green and David Todd are competing for the Republican nomination. This was the district formerly held by Dale Wright. Dale Wright term limited out and decided, and so he could not run again for this position. So those two are running for the Republican nod there. Becky Lobinger is unopposed in the 117th District. Pat King, Circuit Judge, unopposed. Todd Smith, Circuit Judge, unopposed. Kent Scism, Presiding Commissioner, unopposed. County Clerk Kevin Engler, unopposed. And then we have that Circuit Clerk race. Christina Bone, this is her second election. And Ginger Daffrin running against her. Ginger works in the same office as Christina Bone. The two have worked together this whole election cycle. They've, if you've noticed when you've driven by the St. Francis County Courthouse, they've both parked their cars on the same side, and it almost seems like they would be taking turns. One would be in the end spot and one would be in the top spot. It has definitely been a very above-the-board campaign between those two candidates, and we'll find out here soon who won that race. Recorder of Deeds, unopposed, is Jay Graff. He's the incumbent. Same for the prosecuting attorney, Blake Dudley. And then County Collector race, Angie Ussery, the incumbent for St. Francis County Collector, challenged by Mike Miller. And that is a race that has led to a lot of signs around St. Francis County, so we'll see how that goes. Louis Cyberlick running unopposed to St. Francis County Auditor. And one other contested race, and that's for the St. Francis Township for a committeeman position, and that's between Alex Wade and Kyle Smith, and that's in the southern half of St. Francis County is where voters. Did you vote on that? Did you vote on the Kyle Smith and the Alex Wade? Or is that a...
No.
That's right, because that's outside of the city limits, so you wouldn't have that vote. Democratic numbers races that we'll be looking at. Again, State Auditor, Quentin Wilson and Gregory Upchurch are the two names there. U.S. Congress District 8. Winner of this one will take on most likely Jason Smith, and Chris Reichert and Frank Barnitz are the two running for that position. And Whitney Whisker Brooks unopposed for state rep on the 116th. Eli Flowers, state rep for 117th. Bill Young, St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner. And state auditor, there's a Libertarian candidate, Dustin Kofel, running for state auditor. So those are things to look at, along with Amendments 1, 2, 4, and 5.
And people might be wondering why Amendment 3 wasn't on the August
Why did they skip
ballot.
that?
That was a decision of the governor, and he decided he wanted to wait until November to have Missourians vote on that. So that abortion amendment will be on the ballot come November. So that'll be something to look forward to there, because if that wasn't on the ballot, we had asked Kevin Engler about that. I really think the election turnout tonight could be bigger than it would be in November, but that abortion amendment will definitely drive up some attention.
That definitely will, because there's going to be a lot of races that aren't contested in that election. We had a viewer asking about the 114th state rep race. That's between David Broach and Ann Maloney on the Republican side, and yet to get any information about that race either. Right now we're sitting at 0 out of the 3,235 polling places in the state of Missouri, and so far no one has submitted their results yet to Denny Hoskins and that website. So we'll keep you up to date. We're hanging out Election Central here at the Election Central building on Weber Road in Farmington as we continue to bring you election night coverage right here on Facebook and YouTube Live. In the St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County, with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner.
At First State Community Bank, our why is simple: to bring a positive impact to every community we serve. We are your neighbors and partners in building a stronger hometown. We work side by side with our community to help local businesses grow and families succeed. Our team takes the time to understand what matters to you, combining personal services with the latest technology so you can bank your way. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at fscb.com.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Hi, welcome to Subway. What can I get for you today?
Back at Election Night Central here on the Parkland Podcast on Facebook and YouTube Live as we continue to scour the internet for some results as far as the ballots go. We are getting some numbers in, unofficial numbers to tell you about, and let's start right with the circuit clerk race. And I'll be honest, Mark, I'm kind of surprised by the numbers here. Right now, unofficial numbers say 76% of the voters have voted for Christina Bone, 23% for Ginger Daffrin. And that's with a little over 1,000 votes coming in for that race, and that's for the circuit clerk. And in the meantime, for the county collector, this one also a little further apart than I thought. Angie Ussery with 817 votes compared to Mike Miller's 435. So 65% for Angie Ussery compared to Mike Miller's 35%. Again, these are unofficial results to pass along. The St. Francis County Township Committeeman race tight there. 56% of the votes going to Alex Wade, 44% going to Kyle Smith. And then some numbers for the state rep race in the 116th district. Right now, Jason Green with 67% of the vote, 543 votes collected there, as opposed to David Todd's 273 votes. And that looks like the numbers that we have so far. Jason Smith with 90% of the votes in St. Francis County over Gordon Heslop on the Republican side. And then let's see, let's cruise down and get some contested races on the Democrat side and see, let's see, state auditor, pretty tight right there with Greg Upchurch with 53% of the vote. Chris Reichard, as it stands right now, District 8, with 62% of the vote to Frank Barnett's 38%. And the statewide amendments so far, looks like Amendment 1 with 79% saying yes. Amendment 2, 77% saying yes. Amendment 4, 79% saying no. And Amendment 5, 83% saying no. And again, these are unofficial results and far from the totals from the entire state of Missouri. But that's how things stand right now, Mark Toti, with some of the results in already.
Yeah, not a lot of surprises there because we kind of hinted that those amendments might swing that way. And it looks like we're about to get some returns here maybe in just a little bit. We're not really sure what the holdup is, but we hope to have some of these results for you in addition to what we've already given to you coming up here shortly.
Yeah, and there are some statewide numbers being reported on the statewide website now. So, again, that's stuff to keep in mind as we watch the election night coverage. Well, we got another candy passer
Come
out
on
here.
over here, young lady. What is your name?
Jaylee.
Jaylee, what are you doing today?
She got too embarrassed.
We thought we were going to get some. Are we going to get some candy over here?
Oh, man.
She's like her mom.
Oh, you got a
like her
check
grandma.
for me? Oh, wow. Thank you. Man.
Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi. Tell your mom and dad hi.
Oh, yeah. You've been helping Grandma all day.
Mommy and Daddy.
There you go. All right. Hey, thank you.
That made all the elections worthwhile. The election
Yes, it did.
coverage.
I didn't get any chewy sweet tarts though. That's the only bad thing.
Yeah, you got money. That's
Yeah, that's true. I did. I got a check, so that's quite all right. So yeah, that's where we're standing at right now. We'll take a quick break, courtesy of our sponsor, Kent Scism, for presiding commissioner, and Mac Tech. It's election night coverage from the August. In the St. Francis County presiding commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County, with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. Back at Election Central, we have those absentee ballots in. And again, these are the numbers we gave you earlier as far as the races go there. So nothing has changed so far. We can tell you that 3,384 Republican ballots were pulled and 1,599 Democratic ballots were pulled. And again, this is the numbers as far as things go from absentee voting. And right now, Jason Green with a sizable lead over David Todd, 67%, 1,213 votes for Jason Green, 592 votes for David Todd. And that is for the 116th district. And again, that 116th district crosses over into not just St. Francis County, but Madison County as well. Also, too, looking at the two contested races countywide in St. Francis County, Christina Bone with a big lead after the absentee ballots have been counted. 2,308 votes for the incumbent, Ginger Daffron, with 803. So 74% of the absentee ballots going the way of Christina Bone. Then the other contested race on the Republican primaries for county collector, and the incumbent is winning there as well. A little tighter race. Angie Essery with 69% of the vote, 2,210 votes, and Mike Miller, 31% with 1,014 for St. Francis County collector. And again, we told you about the St. Francis County Township Committeeman, Alex Wade, leading that race with 887 votes to Kyle Smick's 720.
Yeah, there's no gray area with the constitutional amendments. All four Missouri voters, are just in St. Francis County, I should say, St. Francis County voters are really speaking their minds loud and clear, with all four either passing or failing. The closest one is 75 to 25. Let's put it that way. Amendment number 5 St. Francis County is saying no by an 85 to 14% margin, basically. 74 to 25% on Constitutional Amendment 2. It's passing. Number 4 is failing, 82 to 18%. And Constitutional Amendment number 1, St. Francis County folks, no surprise here with St. Francis State Park and St. Joe State Park. And I guess we can now mention Owl Creek Park. 42-59 yes, 969 no.
We are the Parkland, and the Parkland is voting yes on Amendments 1 and 2 and voting no on Amendments 4 and 5.
It will be interesting when more of these votes come in and we see what's happening with Alex Wade and Kyle Smith as far as the township committeeman for St. Francis goes, and the Angie Essery and Mike Miller race for county collector. These are all on the Republican ticket. And then Christina Bone and Ginger Daffron for circuit clerk on the Republican ticket. Right now, the two incumbents on that side are winning handily.
Yeah, and kind of going against how the polls went on our Facebook page, Parkland Podcast, with our polls, both going the opposite way with the challengers winning both those races as far as our polls go. But polls are just polls. And these are the votes that actually count. And so far, again, with just the absentee ballots and early balloting coming in, that's where we stand right now. And again, looks like that the incumbents, at least as of right now, remain in office. Looking ahead, I was hoping to see maybe some crossover numbers we could add together with Jason Green and David Todd. Don't have any of those as of yet, but we'll have that information as we move along a little closer here on election night. Looks like we do have some more numbers in now. Let's see if these are still the same. We've got a little bit of a change in the statewide numbers, but local numbers have remained the same as far as all of our contested races go.
Yeah, the Jason Green and David Todd race, the winner of that race will go on to face Whitney Whisker Brooks come November, but there's really not a whole lot of contested races in November that folks will have to worry about, like Kevin Engler's running unopposed. I know Kent Scism is going to be taking on Bill Young come November, but Pat King, I believe he is running.
He is
unopposed.
Yeah.
So
the only contested races in November in St. Francis County will be the presiding commissioner's race and the 116th district and the 117th district. Those are the only races in St. Francis County that people will decide on.
But the abortion amendment is going to bring a lot of people out to vote for sure.
Absolutely. And, of course, Amendments 1, 2, 4, and 5 have brought off a fair share of people here tonight. Coming up on 8 o'clock on this Election Tuesday evening, we've got the absentee numbers in. Hope to have some more for you shortly. It's election night coverage from the municipal election of St. Francis County. In the St. Francis County presiding commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. Election night coverage rolls on here from Election Central.
Well, that's not a very appropriate way to put it, since we haven't had anything in about 15 minutes. Rolling along is not exactly the best way to put it, folks, but as soon as we get some of those results in, we got a feeling it's going to happen fast and furious. I know in elections past, we've had the TV on behind us, which is kind of cool, but that's not going to be happening tonight. There's some technical issues there.
Some technical issues. That's okay. We still got the paper ballots rolling out, and that's great. Coming up on the podcast this Saturday, going to be a Farmington affair, as we'll be joined by members of the Farmington High School cheerleading squad, one of the hardest working groups at Farmington High School. They'll join us at 8:30. And then 8:45, we get to meet the new superintendent. I get to meet my new boss again. Dr. Jerry Hardy will be our guest at 8:45. We'll have her on before her first year gets underway as the boss of the Farmington School District.
Coming up on the 15th, we'll have John Steffen and Susan Dixon to join us. On the 22nd, Maddie Irwin with the Alzheimer's Association will be joining us. The Grindstaff family will be joining us to talk about a number of things. They're going to be talking about their trip to Africa to dig water wells. They're going to be talking about Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. That'll be Paul. I'll be taking care of that. And they usually have a fish fry at their church in September to raise money for future fundraising efforts for the Living Well Project. And if they're going to do that again, I told them we could really promote that.
Absolutely.
As well. And she came in tonight to vote. And this is one of the few weekends that she'll be available. So on August 22nd, I am so happy about having Natalie Sago to join us.
She'll come
she
back
gave
on
us
again.
one of our better interviews.
Yeah.
About a year ago.
About a year ago. Her dad, who I see weekly now, Gary, thank you, at the Heart Rehab Center, he told me an interesting story about some of the people that Natalie rolls with. So I'll have to ask her about that. We'll save it for the podcast, though. So that's coming up on August the 22nd. Then we take a week off, and then we're back for Labor Day.
And we'll be at the Labor Day picnic.
Yeah.
On the 5th, we'll probably be talking to just all kinds of people.
We will be. It'll be a great time in the beer garden at the Deloge Labor Day picnic on the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. Parkland Podcast comes your way every Saturday morning, 8 a.m., right here on Facebook and YouTube. Encourage you to tune in, ask questions, have fun with us. We play music trivia. I know a lot of people have been playing the trivia on the comments, and we always welcome that.
And I'll give you a little hint, folks. We're going to do rock and roll trivia again Saturday, the next 2 Saturdays, but think movies.
Rock and roll movies.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying think movies.
Think movies.
That'll be our theme for this week and next week. I got a little frisky and got a bunch of questions together, and we'll split them up over the next couple of weeks.
You're working ahead. I like that. Very good. Still sitting with our same numbers for absentees. Again, the big races that people are tuned in for. Right now, Angie Ussery, the incumbent, leading Mike Miller, the challenger. 69% of the vote going Angie's way. And then the county clerk race also going... Excuse me for the.
That pretty much describes
that pretty much sums
the
up
elections coming in
way
tonight.
things. Yeah, the way things have come in. But the St. Francis County clerk position, again, Christina Bone, the incumbent, leading big time there with 74% of the absentee ballots, and that's all we have so far that have come in.
Yeah, we've got a few extra votes coming in for like the state auditor's race on the Republican ticket, but it's really not impacting anything. Scott Fitzpatrick leading Jerry Wistrand, 2598 to 421. Jason Smith leading Gordon Helsop by 2,863 votes to 435. And let's see, it's Jason Green with basically a 2-1 lead over David Todd. Again, that's in St. Francis County, 1219 to 594. So a little bit of movement there, just not a whole lot so far as some of the more statewide races and stuff like that. But the county races, they have not changed a bit, but hopefully that will be changing here shortly. Well, actually, we do have a little update here for county collector on the Republican side. Angie Ussery now with 2,278 votes, and Mike Miller with 1,064. And Christina Bone, 2,374 votes. Ginger Daffron, 855. And as far as the township committeeman race, 922 for Alex Wade and Kyle Smith, 748. So just a few votes coming in, but just not a lot.
So we've had one of the precincts come in,
Basically,
I guess,
that's
is what has happened here.
And I'm sure it's one of the smaller ones.
Yeah. So we'll continue to get those numbers updated for you. Time for another break. We're back with more. In the St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner's race, there's only one candidate who checks all the boxes. Kent Scism is the only candidate with senior leadership experience, the only candidate with multi-million-dollar budget experience, and the only candidate with education and experience that pertains to the job. Kent Scism is all about building a stronger economy in St. Francis County with better roads and more transparency in government. Kent Scism is pro-God, pro-life, and pro-gun. Vote Kent Scism for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner on November 3rd. Paid for by citizens to elect Kent Scism, David Black, Treasurer. Back on the Parkland podcast, and we have the results from the Mac Tech Center. Mark, are these all added together, or are they giving us these individually?
Well, it says we've got 16% voter turnout so far, and they've cast over 6,564 ballots. And basically, let's just hit the results. And it's Jason Green in St. Francis County, 2-1 over David Todd. And then looking at the countywide races, it's Angie Ussery 2-1 over Mike Miller. And we've got Alex Wade leading Kyle Smith. That's the only really close vote there, 55-47. And Christina Bone, 71% of the vote over Ginger Daffron, 2760 to 1,093. So we've got additional results in, but it's not changing anything. And as far as St. Francis County goes with the constitutional amendment, constitutional amendment number 1 for the parks is passing by basically a 4-1 margin. Constitutional amendment number 3 is passing by a 3-1 margin. And then 4 and 5, and again, this is just County very adamant here. They say no to number 4 and number 5, 5,341 to 1,144 for number 4, and then 5,547 no, 945 on amendment number 5 saying yes. So that is going down to defeat handily in the county.
So there you go. Those are the latest numbers right now. As far as we know, we have all of the absentee numbers, and we have all the numbers from the Mac Tech Center that have been submitted to us. And again, a few more polling places are still yet to come. It is coverage of election night, the August primaries here on Facebook and YouTube Live, as we get set to bring you more election returns as they become available here on this Tuesday evening. Let's take another quick break. We'll come back, hopefully, with some more information for you. It is election night 2000.
Discover Farmington. Explore the Parkland. Just 1 hour south of St. Louis at the edge of the Ozark Mountains, you will discover Farmington, Missouri. Surrounded by 9 of Missouri's most scenic state parks, challenging golf courses, an extreme off-road recreation area, hiking trails, and award-winning vineyards and wineries. Farmington is the perfect destination. Learn more about accommodations, parks, dining, and events at discoverfarmingtonmo.com.
Election night 2026. It's the August primaries, and joining us now, we have one of the candidates who's running unopposed here this evening, and that's Bill Young for St. Francis County Commissioner. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
You got 100% of the votes so far.
I think I have a good chance at this one.
I think you might advance on, huh? So what have the last couple of weeks been like for you?
It has been busy. I still work full-time. I'm running a job at the you put me on the spot here, Cardinal Glennon Hospital. And it's going well, but then you throw campaigning on top of it and installing signs, and I really lean a lot on my volunteers to help me out. But things are going really well. Hear a lot of positive feedback from people.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I would like to know, what are people saying to you?
Actually, I was at the First State Bank Center, thank you very much, formerly the Centene Center, and there were, at the end of the evening, after all the voting, there were still people stopping to talk to me, and it was quite, I don't know, it was just, it gave me a warm feeling, I guess I'm doing the right thing, so.
We're on. All right, back at Election Central, had to switch hot spots there as we ran out of one hot spot, but we're back live. And hey, look, Bill, we got some more election results.
More results, all right.
This is Bismarck?
Bismarck's election
Thank you so much for your work today. Appreciate it.
Let's see here what Bismarck does to change things around.
Oh, thank you. I don't have mine either, but I'm holding it the right length away. So now it looks like we're up to 8,326 ballots cast, Mark.
And there's really not a lot changing, other than, as they say, the rich get richer. The leaders in the polls are leading by a little bit more. Christina Bone now with 72% of the vote, 3,592 to 1,355 for Ginger Daffron. Angie Ussery with 3,348 votes to 1,780 for Mike Miller. And it's Alex Wade and Kyle Smith, 1,372 votes for Alex Wade, 1,077 for Kyle Smith. And the constitutional amendments, nothing's really changed. 1 and 2 are passing by overwhelming margins. 4 and 5 are being, I think the proper word to use might be pummeled. They are being pummeled. 82% saying no on number 4, and 85% saying no on constitutional amendment number 5. Just a lot of gray areas in 4 and 5, it seems to me, Bill.
So many. Most everyone I spoke to were leaning no on 4 and 5.
So once tonight is over, will you take a little break and recharge the engines, or do you just get right back into it?
No brakes here. No, the brakes are off. It's time to go.
Do you have people here supporting you tonight?
I didn't actually. These young ladies here. No, I thought you meant like family members, but these are my family members. But hey,
she was giving you the evil eye for just a second there.
Well, I think they were surprised to see me come in this evening because I had been working one of the polls, and hey, I picked up some food. I hadn't had supper yet. Went to. Just thought I'd stop by here. So,
well, you're
thanks
going
for
to get
having
the vote for best dressed tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. You should have seen me earlier today.
A little different in that regard, huh?
So what's next? What are you going to do to keep?
Wow, now it's a lot of canvassing. Just trying to get out door to door. Looking forward to Labor Day. Visiting with a lot of folks there. Just whatever I can do to get my face in front of someone.
So will you have a booth at the Labor Day picnic, or will you be walking the grounds, or all of the above?
All of the above. Yep. If you turn around to get a hot dog, I'm going to be standing there. I probably won't pay for it, but I'll be there.
Did you get any election tips from your son?
Of course I did. He's always giving me tips. I don't listen. I'm like him.
Rhonda is working her tail off.
Rhonda's doing awesome tonight.
Yes.
She's on fire right now. So now we have 8,636 in, and Rhonda, what?
This is Leadwood.
This is Leadwood. Okay, so now we have the Leadwood numbers.
They are all here. We're just waiting.
Okay. So all the information is here, just waiting for it to process. So now we're real close. We're going to
My information that I heard in the scuttlebutt in the hallway, North County is what we're waiting on, and now they're here. So.
Okay, great.
It's just a matter of getting them all through the system. Christina Bone still with 72% of the vote. Angie Ussery with almost 65% of the vote. Alex Wade, Kyle Smith, still the same, 56 to 44, basically. And then the amendments, which stay pretty much the same.
Yeah.
No gray area as far as the four constitutional.
From the entire statewide races to maybe paint a little bit of a better picture when it comes to those two statewide amendments. This is a very long list of races here, so let's see. Statewide numbers, echoing what we're seeing in St. Francis County. Right now, 80% voting yes on Amendment 1, 78% voting yes on Amendment 2, 77% voting no on Amendment 4, and 83% voting no on Amendment 5.
And that means to me that that's like a bipartisan vote. I mean, Republicans and Democrats have to be voting no on the ones they're voting no on, and everybody's voting yes on 1 and 2. It's not a Democrat versus a Republican thing. Nobody seems happy with 4 and 5.
State auditor race, Scott Fitzpatrick with a big lead there. He's got 86% of the vote. And then on the Democratic side, Quentin Wilson leading Gregory Upchurch with 68% of the vote there. And every time I keep seeing Gerald with Jerry Wistran, my head keeps putting a Hoghead right after Jerry there. Of course, we had Hoghead Halsey on the ballot in St. Francis County for many, many years. A shout out to Hoghead. And Delogeville, there was a Hoghead, a Yogi. We've had quite some characters.
And I was on the board with both those gentlemen at the same time. That is correct.
You were. And then like some of the older names that I remember for St. Francis County politics. Remember Beans
Mahiran?
Beans Mahiran was always a fun one.
Yes.
And what was some other classic names from back in the day, Mark? I know I'm missing a couple.
I'm stuck on
Fibber McGee. Remember Fibber McGee?
I interviewed Fibber McGee on the radio a few times.
A politician with the name Fibber.
But Hoghead Halsey gets the gold medal as far as
that's a good name. That is a good name.
I go with Hoghead Halsey all the way.
a man who had a child in the North County School District in the better part of 6 different decades, Jerry Hoghead Holsey.
The man knew how to reproduce.
He did. All right.
Both you gentlemen need some nicknames.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
We need
I've got so many nicknames, it's not even funny. I don't even remember what my real first name is sometimes.
That right?
Tote Man, Tote Bandu, Totarooski,
Toti,
Tote Man.
That's all of them right
Toaster.
there. All right, so right now we've got our absentees. We have MacTech officially in our numbers. We have Leadwood, right, officially in our and Bismarck. So
and everything else is in. It's just a matter of getting it sorted,
all tabulated,
and sent in to us.
All right, well, let's take another commercial break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have those final numbers for you here soon. Election night coverage rolling on as we...
Young gets around and stuff starts happening.
That's right.
Instead of printing the rest of them out individually, this is the unofficial final.
Unofficial final results are now ready. So here we go. And let's start again with as far as the 116th district. Again, this is St. Francis County numbers only, but big boost for Jason Green, 68% of the votes there, 1,863 for. David Todd has the other 874, which is 32%. But again, that race will cross over with Madison County.
And then as far as the circuit clerk race on the Republican Party, it was Christina Bone, the incumbent, with 4,538 votes. Ginger Daffron with 1,885 votes. Basically a 71 to 29% margin. As far as county collector on the Republican Party, 4,252 votes for Angie Ussery, 2,405 for Mike Miller, 64 to 36. And as far as the township committeeman, St. Francis Township committeeman, it was Alex Wade with 1,388 votes and Kyle Smith with 1,101, 56 to 44% of the votes. That's the local races there.
Jason Smith gets the most Republican votes in St. Francis County, 86% of those for that bid for re-election for U.S. District 8. Gordon Helsop with 13% of the votes there. Also, too, Scott Fitzpatrick with 87% of the votes in St. Francis County for the Republican statewide auditor position over Jerry Wistrand.
And let's look at the final numbers from St. Francis County on the constitutional amendments. Wow. If you were expecting a nice tight race on any of these, no such luck. 8,561 people said yes to constitutional amendment number 1. 2,040 said no. That's better than a 4-to-1 margin. Constitutional amendment number 2, I think it'd be safe to say this is the one that nobody in the county really cared about too
probably
awful
so.
much. Everybody had feelings about the other 3.
Yeah.
But 7,825 said yes, 2,539 said no. Number 4, 8,791 votes against, 1,869 for constitutional amendment number 4, and that was relatively close compared to constitutional amendment number 5. 9,128 people voted no in the county. 1,541 voted yes, and that kind of mirrors what's going on the statewide level.
Looking for some final numbers in that 116th race. Again, this is a crossover race with Madison County, but it looks like Jason Green may have distanced himself enough with the votes in St. Francis County to overtake David Todd. Kind of flopping on the old Facebook now to see if I can find some information from either of those candidates, maybe conceding or letting folks know, but nothing as far as that goes. And we told you earlier this evening we were going to try to keep an eye on the Chris Stinkins and Harbison race happening in the 144th district. Tony Harbison running for re-election, and nothing yet on his Facebook or Chris Stinkins' Facebook as far as anybody claiming victory or expressing defeat with that race as well. So that's another race that obviously we're going to keep an eye on here through the evening. But again, final numbers are in, and it's a night for the incumbents as both the St. Francis County Collector and the St. Francis County Circuit Clerk remain in office in St. Francis County. And right now, Missouri voters are putting down Amendments 4 and 5. In fact, the Associated Press has predicted that Amendments 4 and Amendments 5 will be a no vote in the state of Missouri tonight. So that's, I guess they've got enough information that they feel confident in that. I know we had an Associated Press reporter here in the press corps tonight.
She's still here. I don't know.
So I would say, yeah, her computer's still here, so she hasn't left yet.
But it looks like there was roughly 26.28% of St. Francis County residents that got out and voted today, according to what they have handed us.
Well, Kent Scism's here. We want to see if we can get him on the air.
Sure, Kent, come on over.
See what he thinks about how things went this evening as far as the election results go. And again, want to remind you that the incumbents were victorious here in St. Francis County tonight with the St. Francis County Clerk and the St. Francis County Circuit Clerk. Presiding Commissioner candidate Kent Scism is here. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Doing good. You got 100% of the vote.
I did. So did Blake Dudley. We congratulated each other on a hard-run campaign.
And you have been working hard.
Yeah, we have. You'll probably notice that you haven't seen many of my signs out. Pardon me, and that was by design because I'm running, unopposed. The signs will go out tomorrow, and there will be a lot of them.
The work's really going to go into high gear.
And that way the wind and all that take a better chance at keeping them in play there.
You won't be taking any time off, will you?
No, not at all. It's been every day somewhere something. I've been looking at the county budget. I've got the road and bridge budget. I got the sheriff's budget. I've got the contracts that they're going through, trying to get acclimated to all that. And I tell you, it's a heck of a job. I mean, I heard Kerry on there earlier saying that it's a tough job, and he's right, because there's a lot of accounting that goes into this, and that's my background, so I'm kind of into that. But it's going to be quite a chore, to get my feet going right at the first time. Just get going.
So I would ask you about constitutional amendments number 4 and number 5. Were you surprised at all as to how it turned out?
I was surprised at 4, but not really, because in my view, they flawed trying to get all 8 districts or zones, whatever they call them. They should have gone 6 for 8. They'd had a better shot at that. The other one, the number 5, that was it was kind of like Hillary Clinton or Pelosi. You got to vote for it before you see what's in it, and that just wasn't going to work.
Right.
How has your campaign changed? Originally, when you threw your hat into the ring, you were waiting to find out about Harold Gallagher. He, at that point, decided he was going to run for re-election. That changed a few months ago. How did that change things for you?
Well, it changed on the signs for sure, because we didn't have to go out and put them out right then. Okay, and I think that works well for me, because if most people are like me, I get tired of looking at those darn signs.
Voter fatigue.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I just go right past them. So I don't think I missed anything not having my signs out there yet. But now I've been learning a lot, meeting a lot of people. going to Damon Black's place and meeting a lot of people in North County up there in the Bonne Terre area. Talking with Linda Black, she's helped me a lot. It's been quite an experience.
How was your voting experience? Did you vote today or did you vote early?
I voted early.
Yeah. How did that go for you?
Yeah, I came here and there was no line at all.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And I heard Kevin getting raked over the coals because of the losing all the places to vote. But this has worked out beautifully, I think. I mean, and not going to have any lawsuits. That's important if you're a commissioner. You don't want any lawsuits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
Or no more.
Yeah. Two contested countywide races on the Republican ballot. The incumbents, both victorious in those. And I know those are two ladies that you've worked with and have developed a little bit of a relationship with, haven't you?
Well, yeah. In fact, all four of the folks there, Angie and Mike, and then Christina and Ginger, know them all, know them well. I mean, I could say we're friends. So whoever was going to lose is, I mean, I feel bad for them.
Right.
But that's the way it is. It's politics. But somebody has to win. But yeah.
But I mean, all four of those people ran a good campaign. They didn't lose because they didn't try.
No, they did not. Yeah. And I tell you, they all worked hard. I saw Ginger at she's throwing footballs. This is at Country Days. Our booth was right next to hers. Mm-hmm. And then I saw Christina out. She's walking everywhere. And then Mike, of course, you saw his signs everywhere. And he had quite a thing going there. And of course, Angie, she was all over the place. I mean, you couldn't turn around and you didn't see Angie Guthrie.
Now, I know that you're going to be out every day doing things, but the next big event is probably Labor Day, and
it is
that's when
Labor
you
Day.
have a real big presence.
Yeah. I have a booth over there, and of course, walking in the parade, and it's going to be a good time, and I'm going to talk to a lot of people. And I'm looking forward to it.
And you want people to talk to you and find out more about your campaign and what you stand for.
Absolutely. Mark, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we're a first-class county. And do you know what it takes to be a first-class county?
It changes everything, doesn't it?
$900 million in assessed valuation is what it takes to be a first-class county. And I just heard today that the estimates that we have population-wise is now about 72,000. Okay. That's pretty large, and the county's budget's going to be pushing $50 million. So somebody's going to have to be a good steward of all that money, and that's what I look forward to doing, and being able to look the people in the eye and say, hey, we did the right thing.
And with that new shopping center coming in, that's going to bring a lot more money into the county.
You would think so. I think it's going to take a little time for it to actually filter through the system. Mm-hmm. But at this time, I've heard people say that it's just going to siphon it off from Walmart. But I don't see that. I think it's going to be a draw for we get a lot of people from Madison County, and I think we're going to get some from Jeffco because they don't want to go through all that rigmarole up there in the traffic, and they can come just right down here and be here in 20 minutes and. There you go. So it's going to be a boon for us, especially when they start filling that sector up.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the many things a presiding commissioner, I think one of the job titles too is you kind of got to be a champion of local business and encourage and try to find more revenue opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do all that. You're the county's cheerleader, and also and all the folks that work in the courthouse, you need to make sure that they're happy. You need to talk to them, and see what's going on with them. Just like the folks at the Sheriff's Department, Road and Bridge, see what their concerns are, and that's what I look forward to doing.
Whether you're the presiding commissioner or a county clerk or a county collector, you're only as good as the people you got working for you.
That's exactly right. I learned that a long time ago. Yeah, people make your company. And so I think we've got some great people in this county. In the courthouse, Road and Bridge, Sheriff's Department, they're dedicated. They put in hard hours, long hours. I can't say enough good things about them. So I just want to see if I can make their days better for them.
Kent, thank you so much.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck.
Thank you.
To November.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Kent Scism, he will be on the Republican ballot for St. Francis County Presiding Commissioner, and taking a minute to talk to us here on election night.
So I did want to mention the Sunrise R9 School District. They had a proposition on the ballot, just a few votes from overlapping into St. Francis County, but I know a couple of people that live in the county that actually one of them's a teacher at Sunrise. they probably want to know what the vote is on their school proposition, but it's 41 yes to 14 no, and of course that's going to be added to what goes on in Jefferson County as well. But those were the votes on the Sunrise R9 school proposition in St. Francis County.
So hopefully we'll have some of those numbers to pass along to you once that's all put together with Jefferson County as well. One more look at the statewide numbers just to kind of see where we are with those, as again the incumbents are the winners here in St. Francis County this evening. Both the county clerk and circuit clerk going the way of the incumbents. And let's see. Constitutional Amendment 5, again, still losing by a lot. Amendment 4, still losing by a lot. And Amendments 1 and 2, both passing by a lot. Partner, what else do we need to do as far as anything goes here with
I'm
our
going
coverage?
to arrow on down to the 116th and see what's going on with that. I just updated my screen, refreshed my screen. And there's a lot of state representatives in this area, and they still really haven't posted any results on those on the state site on my phone, so they may have something there.
I got about half of the precincts reporting for the 144th district. That's the one where Tony Harbison is the incumbent, and he is losing with just 33% of the vote, 67% of the vote going to Chris Dinkins. So it looks like she is looking at returning to Jeff City and ending the run of Harbison. 116. I don't have any numbers other than St. Francis County to give you for that. So as of right now, that's where that race stands.
Well, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in.
Yeah.
I know we had quite a few people saying they were going to be watching us tonight, and we hope we did all right for you.
Thanks for all the positive comments. And again, your contested races in St. Francis County going to the incumbents. And we'll put together a little video for you guys before we call it a night and put it on our Facebook page a little bit later on. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors, both Mac Tech and Kent Scism, our last guest here, candidate for presiding commissioner, as we brought you unofficial results from election night and the August